So Alex Pereira is preparing for a fight. He pretty much posted a video today saying that he is back in fight camp and most likely he will be facing off against Ankalaev for that rematch. Now, I think that this is a very important fight legacy wise for Alex Pereira. I think that he definitely comes back and has a better performance. We're going to go ahead and break down this sparring footage from Alex Pereira, which I think is a very interesting, film study for us to cover. I think that Alex Pereira has the most trouble fighting southpaws because of the natural nature of fighting in the open stance. For those of you guys that don't know what the open stance is, it's pretty much whenever there is a southpaw versus a conventional. That's a complete opposite from a conventional versus conventional or southpaw versus southpaw, and that's usually a closed stance type of setups, closed stance type of engagements, which is, in my opinion, completely different from fighting in the open stance, which is what we're going to go ahead and cover today. Let's go ahead and break down the sparring footage because I think is very, very interesting. And we're going to go ahead and pretty much talk about what Alex Pereira could do so that he can have a better performance against a natural southpaw like Ankalaev. Let's go ahead and watch this. So some hand fighting there. Oh my God. Yeah, Alex is getting tagged up right now. All right, let's go ahead and watch round two. Ooh, low blow. Those body shots there. Good work, good work. Round three, let's go ahead and get this done. On. Okay, so some of the things that I would like to see Alex Pereira do a lot more is hand fight. His opponent is doing a great job at hand fighting Alex Pereira. That's why he's finding shots. He's making Alex Pereira become offensive. And the reason why that's so important is because in the open stance, usually whoever is being baited into becoming offensive, like I said, has a better chance of landing counter shots. And counter fighting in the open stance is bread and butter. It's like chef's kiss. It's the perfect system to try and counter fight. So I think that Alex Pereira should definitely try to hand fight a little bit more to pretty much bait his opponent into becoming offensive so that he could try to counter off of their offense, right? Alex Pereira does a very, very good job at being a counter fighter off the closed stance, right? Conventional versus conventional. But like I said, in the open stance, conventional versus southpaw, the game is played just a little bit different. You have to be way more strategic. You have to mask your intentions a lot better. And that's something that I think Alex Pereira struggles with significantly, since he does have a counterpunching system and he has a lot of great counter fighting offensive schemes. I think that he should just try to be a little bit more patient, mask his offense a little bit more, not try to be super aggro all the time. But I think, especially whenever we did see him fight Magomed Ankalaev, what kind of bit him in the ass is the fact that he was just being super aggro all the time, and he was pretty much doing a good job at just giving away positions for free. Now, one of the things that obviously a lot of people are gonna pretty much talk about is Alex Pereira needs to get his foot on the outside, which is, in my opinion, pretty surface level advice. That's pretty surface level shit. If you walk into any combat sports gym, they're always going to tell you, oh, get your foot on the outside, you know, get your lead foot, right? Get your lead foot on the outside of your opponent and try to land that cross, right? Obviously, yes, that's pretty good advice, but you have to mask that intent. You have to not be that obvious. You can't just put your foot on the outside and expect to land your shot. You have to pretty much, like I said, you have to be masking your intent, you know. And I think that Alex Pereira just tends to be a little bit of a Captain Obvious type fighter whenever it does come to fighting in the open stance. Like I said, and I will reiterate, fighting in the open stance is a lot more cerebral than people would like to admit. Look, I'm about to play a little short clip on what his opponent does right against an opponent fighting in the open stance. And this is against an experienced boxer. So right now, Alex Pereira is getting dominated with the lead hand, and his opponent is pretty much doing a good job at controlling Alex Pereira. Now, this is what I mean that Alex Pereira should do more. Hand fight. He should hand fight a lot more. He's literally controlling right here. This is a freaking screenshot moment, ladies and gentlemen. Screenshot this moment. His opponent is doing an excellent job at controlling this big ass space right here in the middle. He's controlling this big ass space in the middle. What could Alex Pereira do here? Really, what could he do here? Right? This is what I want to see Alex Pereira do more. Probe, more hand fight, control his opponent's freaking guard. Like, let him not do anything. Right? We see his opponent oh my god, this is so good. I want you guys to understand this. Since his opponent is controlling Alex Pereira's guard here, we're about to see it in a second, he's able to disengage and live to fight another day. That is amazing positioning. That is great positioning. That is great decision making. That's something that we didn't see Alex Pereira do too many times against Ankalaev in the Ankalaev fight. I think that Alex Pereira should use the probe. He should hand fight just a little bit more to buy himself time whenever he does find himself in detrimental position. So pretty much to sum things up, I just think that Alex Pereira should hand fight a little bit more, just a little bit more, or, you know, more often. I don't think he hand fights that much at all. You know, I think in the Ankalaev fight, he didn't hand fight at all. And I think that hand fighting in the open stance could definitely benefit him a lot more, since the open stance is a lot more technical. It's a much more technical battle. You are battling for dominant positions. And I just don't think that trying to out volume your opponent, especially with those MMA gloves, is the most consistent way to try to earn the victory. I think that in the open stance, things are a lot more technical. You have to be a lot more strategic, and you have to mask your intent a lot more. Position over everything in the open stance. And I think that whoever outpositions their opponent, you know, pretty much is going to win that fight. You can't just try to pretty much outnut your opponent in the open stance, you know. And obviously, you know, feinting more could definitely help him as well. And also having some very strong combinations in the open stance, like a lead hook into a cross or a cross into a lead hook. Those are all very strong combinations in the open stance as well. All those things could definitely help him have a much better performance against Magomed Ankalaev. And yeah, that's all I want to see. All I want to see is just Alex, you know, progress in terms of fighting southpaws, because I think that right now that's his biggest weakness. We saw it in the Khalil Roundtree fight, and obviously we saw it in the Magomed Ankalaev fight, which, in my opinion, Magomed Ankalaev, wasn't really using his wrestling all that much, to fight Alex Pereira, right? He was using his striking to pretty much outwit Alex Pereira, and that's exactly what we saw. We saw Magomed Ankalaev outwit Pereira. But that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. I know that this was a very, very brief breakdown on this film study. From just some of the couple things that I'm seeing, we obviously could go a lot deeper. We could talk about this for an hour. We could also break down Magomed Ankalaev as well, which I plan to do so sometime in the future. Alex Pereira right now is preparing for a fight camp, and hopefully we do get news that he will be facing off against Magomed Ankalaev for that rematch, which is a fight that I expect Alex Pereira to prepare for. But that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. As always, it's a pleasure. Peace out and have a good one.